Should you buy Bulletstorm VR? You bet your dick you should. Let's find out. Originally released back in 2011, the name Bulletstorm still gives pearl-clutching PTA moms PTSD.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Whether you were 14 years old at the time, or simply have the humor of a 14-year-old, the over-the-top violence and vulgarity scored the game somewhat of a cult classic status. However, the translation into virtual reality kinda has me wishing it remained in the past. When you first start up the game, the first thing you're greeted with is a warning that isn't entirely the truth, at least not on the MetaQuest version. A few of the scenes have been cut, some swears have definitely been censored, and when recording directly off the headset, the game actually auto-mutes itself for all of the cutscenes. The music you're hearing now, that's what all my cutscenes sound like in the captured footage. Meta decided to mute the cutscene audio, but for some reason the developer decided to mute the graphics? I mistakenly had it set to a stereoscopic 3D, which is intended to look like a 3D movie, but instead, it's a nearly unwatchable low-resolution mess where you can count every pixel. It's noticeably worse than the older flat-screen version of the game.
General Serrano will be on board.
And the downgrade extends beyond the cutscenes, as the fire and smoke effects are just plain bad. The water effects are somehow even worse. The environmental textures are all flat and muddy looking. There's immersion breaking texture pop in as you move forwards and backwards through the environments, and it's especially noticeable in VR. The dead enemy bodies will either simply vanish or spontaneously combust. The AI for both your teammates and your enemies are comically bad. This artificially makes the game exceptionally easy, even on the hardest difficulty mode. They'll either run around like an old British comedy sketch, or they'll just stand there and be bullet sponges. I'm not even joking. This is how my first boss battle went in the game. I say boss battle, quote unquote boss. He spawns in, stands in one spot, and, well, I kill him. Wow, what a great boss battle. Now, hold on. It's not all bad. The mechanics of the game are sound. Whipping an enemy towards you, kicking them in their skull, and then shooting their head off is as fun in VR as you would expect. The guns feel almost weightless, which adds to the arcadey nature of the combat that's also accompanied by an unrealistically long super slide and a disembodied kick. Those of you who chase PlayStation trophies or Xbox achievements will love the dopamine hit you get from unlocking a new skill shot, and both the weapon variety and story-driven set pieces really help break up the otherwise dull gameplay loop. But the problem is you have to try and find that fun amongst a litany of issues. Here's where I ended up mistakenly thinking I could crouch behind cover in real life and ended up falling through the floor, not being able to recenter myself until the cutscene happened. In this clip, I grabbed the shotgun and I accidentally shoulder it to my left side as opposed to my right, and that, believe it or not, hard locks me into this section. I wasn't able to progress any further, and I actually had to restart the game to continue. And in this final clip, it's one of those set piece moments where I wasn't paying enough attention and died, and then was booted outside of the set piece moment. Completely unable to move or do anything, I just had to watch the story take place. Yeah. Unfortunately, that was as far as I made it in the game, because that moment led me to this. This pains me because I really wanted to love this game. Bulletstorm's kind of like that one friend you have that nobody else really likes. He drinks a little too much, swears a little too much, and just kind of talks about how cool he was in high school, but you can't help but defend him. That's Bulletstorm. And unfortunately, at a $40, $50 price tag, it's kind of hard to justify at this point. However, if you're still in the mood for a shooter and you got an itchy trigger finger, you can check out this review of Pistol Whip. There's even a referral link so you can save 25%.